"The boy's a vampire?" he shrieked.
"Of course," Mr. Crepsley frowned. "But surely you knew."
"I knew nothing of the sort,"
Gavner protested. He looked into my eyes and concentrated hard.
"The blood is weak in him," he mused aloud. "He's only a half vampire."
"Naturally," Mr. Crepsley said. "It is not our custom to make full vampires of our assistants."
"Nor to make assistants of children,"
Gavner Pearl snapped, sounding more authoritative than he had before.
"What were you thinking?"
he asked Mr. Crepsley.
"A boy! When did this happen? Why haven't you informed anybody?"
"It has been nearly a year and a half since I blooded Darren," Mr. Crepsley said. "Why I did it is a long story. As for why I have not told anyone, that is simpler to answer. You are the first of our kind we have encountered. I would have taken him to the next council if I had not run into a general beforehand. Now that will not be necessary."
"It bloody well will be,"
Gavner snorted. "Why?" Mr. Crepsley asked. "You can judge my actions and pass verdict."
"Me? Judge you?"
Gavner laughed.
"No, thanks. I'll leave you to the council. The last thing I need is to get involved in something like this."
"Excuse me," I said again, "but what's this all about? Why are you talking about being judged, and who or what are the council?" "I shall tell you later," Mr. Crepsley said, waving my questions aside. He studied Gavner curiously. "If you are not here about the boy, why have you come? I thought I made it clear when last we met that I wanted no more to do with the generals."
"You made it crystal clear,"
Gavner agreed.
"Maybe I'm just here to discuss old times."
Mr. Crepsley smiled cynically. "After 17 years of leaving me to my own devices, I think not, Gavner." The vampire general coughed discreetly.
There is trouble brewing. Nothing to do with the generals," he added quickly. "This is personal. I've come because I feel there's something you should know."
He paused. "Go on," Mr. Crepsley urged him. Gavner looked at me and cleared his throat.
"I have no objections to speaking in front of Darren," he said, "but you seemed anxious to steer him clear of certain areas when we were discussing our past a while ago. What I have to tell you may not be for his ears."
"Darren," Mr. Crepsley said immediately, "Gavner and I shall continue our discussion in my quarters, alone. Please find Mr. Toll and tell him I shall be unable to perform tonight." I wasn't happy. I wanted to hear what Gavner had to say. He was the first vampire I'd met, apart from Mr. Crepsley, but from his stern expression, I knew his mind was made up. I turned to leave. "And Darren," Mr. Crepsley called me back, "I know you are curious by nature, but I've warned you, do not attempt to eavesdrop. I shall take a dim view of it if you do." "What do you think I am?" I said. "You treat me like—" "Darren," he snapped. "No eavesdropping." I nodded glumly. "All right."
"Cheer up,"
Gavner Pearl said as I walked away dejectedly.
"I'll tell you all about it as soon as Larton's back is turned."
As Mr. Crepsley spun round, with fire in his eyes, the vampire general quickly raised his hands and laughed.
"Ha ha! Only joking!"